Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we're back for another Vintage League. We're playing some Hogak Vine today, or the hybrid of CradleVine and Hogak. Basically, it's CradleVine. I've just thrown a couple Hogaks back into the list. An MTGO player by the name of Miss Trigger went undefeated a couple weeks ago, bringing Hogak Vine back in a very similar list to this. I don't know how their sideboard matches up against mine, but I basically have taken the list that I think I would be running right now and just threw a couple whole gags in instead of Once Upon a Time. And I'm not sure how smart that is, but we're going to try it out and see how it goes today. I have always liked Hogak. I think it's an incredibly powerful card. I don't necessarily think it's at its best right now, running around with all the white initiative and the presence of Caracas. But that said, it is an extra card that just triggers revenge binds. It's very powerful, and if it can't be answered, it can close the game tremendously quickly. My sideboard is relatively stock. I do have one basic in there for the initiative matchup. I am trying Questing Beast. This is a card I was playing with a couple weeks ago when I was trying CradleVine back out, and the One Ring was very confluent. This was one way that I could get through with haste, and all my damage gets through and nullifies the protection from the One Ring. So, of course, I don't think that's necessarily great, but I did have a couple times where it was pretty good and won me a game against the ring and just Miscellaneous casting it and beating somebody. Anyways, that's it, guys. Appreciate you hanging out as always. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to see you round one. Okay, here we are in round one, and Weasel is a green-white Hatebears player. And their deck's pretty tough to beat. We did lose the die roll here, but it is beatable. We just need to have a powerful hand to be able to beat it. I do feel more secure in this matchup knowing that Hogak is in my deck because they're technically full of a whole bunch of small creatures is what they are. So this one's an easy mull. Powder this one. I think I put the gas back. Great. It's a good hand. That's presuming they're playing their deck, but that's what they've been playing for the last couple of years. They're very much in the camp of playing the same deck, and just they're good with it. Keep making it better. Here's a hierarch. Yep. Okay, I am in the business of trying to win, so let's get this going. And here we go. Next turn, if we can find another creature off the top that pitches, we could ultimate Hexdrinker or put Hexdrinker out of range of spot removal. That is a given. They're going to do that. So I hope they don't have another Wasteland. I guess that's my issue here. I could play my Wasteland and Wasteland them and attack for 4. No. We're getting busy doing our business here. I'm going to try and get this up here out of range. I guess I probably should have attacked with the Basking Root Walla first before playing the Hex Drinker, threatening to pump. That was a waste of an extra damage. Okay. Stoneforge. Okay. So we could have a race with Coldra complete here. No, they got us. Damn. And I'm not going to be able to keep them off it either, which is the problem here. Well, Let's get in there. I mean, Cauldra is good, but don't think I need to spin here. I guess I could have, no, I couldn't have snuck any damage through there. So I'm gonna keep pumping here, and I'm gonna pump. I mean, I guess I can do it now. Coulter's coming in. This already has protection from instant, so I can't imagine what they would have to make that worse for me, but oh, that was a good rip. I forget that I have Hogak in this deck. Okay. They can play their Cauldron now. I just need to find a Gaia's Cradle and we can ice this. Okay. Blow up my hollow one here. Definitely bizarring. Okay. One short of being able to go Saiyan on them. That's okay. Next turn. We should be able to do it. I'm going to keep the other Hex Drinker in my hand here. Reason being is I might want to pitch it to my Bazaar to look for a Cradle if they wasteland me here. So I don't think I need to attack in here. I think we're doing okay. We're still at 20 life. It's not going to be easy for my opponent to get through this. And we're one away from going ultimate with the Hex Drinker, and we'll just swing in for lethal. That's so good, Coldray. So they're thinking about it. Did they just crack their canopy here? They have quite a bit of mana. I can't imagine them necessarily attacking here, but they might. Yep. Now there's not a wasteland. Okay, would we have drawn a land? We would have. I do think they run initiative creatures. Force of Vigor is typically pretty bad, but Mental Misstep is worth keeping just for their noble hierarchs. If we can keep them on their back feet, I think it's worthwhile. Chalice is looking pretty rough. I think I'll keep the land and shave a Hogak. Try something like this out. See how that goes. Because they could be bringing in ley lines and things like that, you want to, where you can, shave on your graveyard creatures. And it's definitely one of the selling points of this deck is that we are not reliant on our graveyard as other decks. Now, if we were on the play, I think I would consider this, but on the draw, I don't think it's good enough. So we're going to mulligan. This is a much stronger hand here. I think the odd one out here is Hex Drinker. Despite it was definitely a game-winning card there, I like we can counter at High Arc here, which is a possible turn one play. They certainly did that game one against us, and we've got a pretty strong follow-up here. Okay, so they're going to have a real nice turn here. Sanctifier. So that takes my Hogak away. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. We can keep this in hand, but we wanted the discard equity, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is what scares me, right? This card here. Hopefully I can find a Dismember and get this going. Okay, those are reasonable. Can't discard Hogak here. I don't feel like Collector Roof is doing a whole lot in my hand here. I think we can probably get rid of that. I will trade if they want to trade with the Sanctifier. Sad thing is I'm likely to get Wastelanded here off my Bazaar, and because I don't have a Gaia's Cradle, this hand is a little bit worse. But of course, the Luminarch Aspirant makes things difficult here. Okay, so the good news for me is that they did not play a Wasteland here. Okay. And that means I'm going to be able to attack him with my two creatures here. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Bazaar. We're just going to do it, guys. And I guess I can Wasteland to further get some stuff in the graveyard. I mean, if they have a Tabernacle in their creature deck, it's kind of pretty anti-synergistic as far as I'm concerned, but that worked out just perfectly that we can attack him with those guys. So that did not end up being impactful in this particular game, but it could be. It takes away my Bloodghast, takes away Hogak. Okay, my opponent has decided to go to 7, and that's good news for me. They are taxed on their mana here, too. They have 2 mana. And if they come after my Bazaar here, I mean, that's fine. Okay, nice win for us there. Okay, here we are in round 2. Ravadel is typically a PO player by my experience with them. And we are on the draw, unfortunately. So this could be a tough one for us. what we're looking to do here is we're trying to get a collector roof into play as fast as possible. But if they are still playing PO, it is a tough matchup for us, but not unwinnable by any means. But PO has become a lot worse recently with the presence of Orcish Bowmasters. It has made it somewhat of a dangerous proposition to be playing Paradoxical Outcome. All right, so this hand is, I think, too slow. Much better. I do like Force of Vigor here. I like the discard equity of this. This is likely not to be as good on the draw, but it's still pretty good against PO itself. Maybe I drop Cradle here. We have some protection with Force of Vigor in hand if things get out of control. Okay. So this could be an Orcish Bowmaster here. I am not going to Force of Vigor here. Or maybe I do. No, I don't like that. I'm going to do it. I don't have the option to play around it. Tough decision because I don't know really what I'm playing against here, and Force of Vigor is looking worse here than I would like it to. Hopefully we're not playing into Mindbreak Trap. See if this gets forced. It did not. And this could be Mindbreak Trapped, but not much I can do about it. And now the question is do I want to Force a Vigor here? Maybe I do. For fear of Tinker. Yeah, I hate not getting, I hate 2-for-1ing myself in a situation like this. And look, it could have been the right play to do it. We're going to find out in a second. But if they play a Saga here, it's so much better for me to be able to get them with that. But if this is a Tinker, it is obviously a game-winning play for them. We'll see. Sedgwick. Okay. I am going to Force a Vigor now before this gets on into play, so they can't force or whatever. I have not seen a Sedgwick in quite some time. In hindsight, I might have spun my Bazaar. See if I could find another Bloodghast or Ruola. Instead, though, I'm just going to do this, and we're just going to hope that we can get through the Sedgwick. This is going to be a tough one for us. I think we're going to need to find Gaia's Cradle here. Just going to pass turn here. I probably am going to churn here. Oh, wow. Very nice. Recall. Now, where I mightn't do this is if they don't have another land. They did. So we're going to have some trouble getting through here. I think we're losing this game to a Sedge Witch. A Sedgemoor. Yeah, I'm going to wait now. I am not going to spin. I'm going to just try and increase my chances of finding something good. Oh, you know what? That was a big mistake. I should have spun there to see if I could hit a root wall. That was pretty Voyager of my opponent to do that. Okay, I am going to go now. Cradle would be good. Wasteland would be good. I'm not going to sacrifice my root wall here. They're probably just going to double block, is my guess. Try and preserve their life total, is my guess. But maybe they take the Bloodghast here. No, okay, they just take the 4. The 3, really. I am trying to tax their mana here pretty hard because of the presence of the Chalice. So I am grateful that we played that the way we did and we didn't spin last turn to increase our chances of being able to find the Wasteland there. And we can beat a Sedgemoor Witch if they don't do anything here. Like if they're just really hurting on mana, we can win that way. But it's not easy for me to get through them if they're producing mana. Like they're just constantly able to throw blockers up, right? Yep. I will spin in my upkeep here. We do have a Vengevine in the yard here. Ooh, that was close. They might counter this to try and get another blocker out here. They might be aggressive that way, knowing they're behind a bit. Nope. Okay. The Basking Root Wall, if I find a Cradle, can pump. That's why I'm not doing that. But next turn, the Bloodghast attacks with haste as well. So we're chipping away here. I mean, my opponent does have 6 cards in hand, so it's pretty scary. Not easy for me to get through. It's nice to see Sedgemoor Witch again. It's a card that has fallen completely off the radar, and I have a personal fetish with this card. I do go back to it every 6 months and look at it and see if it's something that I want to bring back. And I mean, it's a black Monastery Mentor. It's really good. Just nobody plays it. Just, and I do think it's solid. Okay, well that's nice to see. So same thing here. We're not churning in the upkeep because we're going to try and get filter for card quality here. That is a good card. If we can get this Vengevine going, guys, this is going to be really good for us. Another root wall or hollow one, please. Ooh, we missed. Okay, well, I get to attack with my hollow one here and have to hope that I don't get wastelanded. We're going to try next turn to bring them back. Be thrilled if they blocked here. Okay. Probably going to cast a second Sedgemoor Witch here is my guess. Kind of missed on our window there of getting that those vines back. But they're going to be quite impactful when they do come into play. And I feel somewhat optimistic it's going to happen this turn, but not for sure. Yeah, so there's the second witch. Instance or sorcery. So now we're going to start seeing Force of Wills flying left and right. But, okay, that's good. Oh, they're just forcing it. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not displeased to see them do that. It's obviously they've got some board equity now, but okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. We need a hollow one or a root wall here. All right. Well, we didn't get them, but we did get a cradle, and that's going to bring back 2 hasted bloodghasts, and I'm going to be able to pump my basking root walla, which is pretty good. So this is going to put my opponent in a tough position here. Yeah, I mean, they were dead. I didn't realize they were down to 2 life there. Okay. Sedgemoor Witches. I would consider this. Consider Dismember. Certainly can cut on a Hogak. I think Hex Drinker in theory seems okay. Probably can cut a Force of Vigor. I think I'm going to try something like this. We'll just get rid of the Hogaks altogether. Now, that said, I mean, if they're running Leyline, I don't know what they're running here. Like, it's got to be better than Questing Beast, right? Collector Roof. I don't think Chalice is going to be good on the draw as much either. It's hard because I don't know what my opponent is playing, guys. Like, it likely is just a Bullmaster Sedgemoor Witch control deck is my guess. But I'm a little scared to take out the Force of Vigors here completely without knowing what we're playing against. And the way I'm currently configured here, I'm a little bit more reliant on my graveyard. Maybe I can just try something like this. You have to remember that my deck is not as reliant on Bazaar of Baghdad as other decks. And yes, I only win 50% of my hands that I keep without a Bazaar in them. That's a rough estimation. I do keep track. I think it is obviously contingent on what I'm playing against, and play and draw really matters. But we can get away without having a Bazaar. So if my opponent shuts my Bazaar off in game 1 or on the play, then sometimes we can play around it. Which is one of the selling points of why I like this deck better than most Bazaar decks, if not all. I'm not sure it's the correct metagame call for this deck, but it not being solely reliant on Bazaar of Baghdad like the Squeevine decks is a pretty big game. Okay, now this hand doesn't have the tools that I'm looking for here. It is nice to have the Mox and a land where I can play a Root Wall and dismember something, but I'm a little skeptical. Yeah, we have to mulligan that. We can just do better. This is an example of a much better looking hand. So no Leyline in play here. Now we could be facing down a Tabernacle in this matchup. But as always, my logic is I don't play around Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale. You have to make your opponent have it. And this is one of the things when you're thinking about Eternal Weekend is that you have to remember that not everybody has Tabernacle of Pendrell Vales. They're a very expensive card to have. They're confluent on Magic Online, but not everywhere in paper. And that is a selling point for playing Bazaar. I mean, there are worlds where you can play around it and you look smart, but typically I am of the mind that I like to go for it and not give my opponent an opportunity to get out of it. You also know sometimes too when you cast the first hollow one. So I'm probably going to get rid of the Beseiju here. Yeah. We'll see if my opponent Force of Wills my hollow one here, and that's usually a pretty good tell. Okay, so I am not going to cast the second hollow one here. And hopefully that does not come back to bite me. But I want the opportunity to trigger my Vine next turn as a possibility if they do hit me with a Tabernacle. Okay. And once again, I could be burned for this because it's quite a bit of damage I've given up on here. Is this a Tinker? Wow. And I just got rid of a Beseiju too. Yuck. Okay, Portal of Phyrexia. Okay, well that's a good one. But we have a chance here to get it to go again. Let's see what we draw. That's not what I need. If I can bring this Vine back, it's a pretty big game. Oh boy, did we ever. See if they have Force of Will. We'll go after my hollow one here. Okay, guys. Now they get to bring a creature back, but that was a nice win for us there. All right. Okay, guys, here we are in round 3. Phantom Man's typically a Bazaar player. And I know they like Squeevine, I think, is their forte here. All right, let's see what we can do. Nice to have the Cradle in hand. We're really looking for a Basking Root Wall or a second hollow one here to be able to get this to go because we're very likely to get Wastelanded. But let's see. All right, that is fantastic. We're going to do something like this. You know, maybe I keep the Force of Vigor because I don't think Collect Roof is typically really good against what my opponent is doing. Now, that's presuming that they're on Bazaar. Yeah. Now, we could walk right into a Force of Vigor here, but not much I can do about that. This could be a counter spell. I would be reasonably pleased with that. I guess a reason to keep Collector Roof potentially instead of Force of Vigor is because of the presence of Hogak. So let's see if we can dodge a Force of Vigor here. That would be awfully nice. And they did have the Force here, so that means they don't have a Force of Vigor. They have Force of Will. Okay. So that's good news for me. We do have a wasteland for them next turn. Okay. Hey now. Don't make me regret that collector roof. This is an oath. It is. Okay, well, I'm going to have some trouble here. I need to get 2 more creatures to hardcast, or, yeah, it's pretty much it. Which is not impossible. Oh, guys. That's really awkward, huh? I don't think I can get rid of the cradle. I think I might need... How do I ever beat an Atraxa with Hexdrinker? Yeah, I mean, this is not going to end up working out. We're just too far behind an Atraxa here. But let's see. All right, they're down to 7. And there's Atraxa. Okay, they do have a 1-drop, so we maybe did well keeping the misstep here. Yeah. Gonna need some help. There's the GAC, but I don't have something I can cast with it. All right, well. We're gonna sit back. We've got a couple turns anyways. See if they just do it again here for cards. Did get another one, but they got 14 cards. I know they have Force of Will here. Bazaar, I think, is my hope. I can Besage you this, but I know they have another one. Yeah, we just don't have enough time. I guess Bazaar is my only hope here. I do think I just play the Besage you. I don't think it does anything for me to hold it here. Can't get through. I mean, Oath of Druids is distinctly one of the decks I'm going to have a lot of trouble with. Excuse me. Doesn't matter to pay the life here because they have me in 2 hits no matter what. So it doesn't really matter. And I know they have Force of Will here. I'm just trying to see what my deck can do here. Okay, that's not going to do it. All right, let's go to game 2 here. I think we do probably want some number of dismembers. I think it's not unreasonable, but I don't know that we need them necessarily on the actual play. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with my game plan, and I think that actually maybe it's okay to have a couple. It's probably smart. What can I cut here? Maybe a Hex Drinker. I really do want to be able to enable my own game plan here. All right, I'm going to put 1. The reason I want the Dismember is that I can shrink their a Resolve to Traxa and kill it. Tough matchup for us for sure. Like we had a very strong hand last time, just ran into a turn 1 Oath, and we'll be a little more cognizant about doing something like discarding a Miscellaneous next time. Because that's a way we could have easily gotten out of that. Just very easily, we would have won that game had I not discarded the Miscellaneous instead of the Dismember. But hindsight's 2020. We didn't know what we were playing against. And pigeonholing a player into playing a particular type of deck is typically a losing endeavor. Now, when you're playing more in competitive play instead of a league, you can be more apt to put somebody on a certain style of deck. But a lot of the Magic Online grinders have a very wide range that they can play. Okay. It's clunky, but I'm going to keep it. Force of Vigor makes this one a little bit better. Like, look, I could powder this. It's got 2 Bazaars in it, though. And I would consider powdering this if it only had 1, because you want to be applying pressure to your opponent. So my opponent is down to 5, and it looks like they're going to hold. If we can sneak out a quick Hogak, that could be good. So they do have Leyline. Okay, Leyline's going to be hard for me here. This is one of the hands that is not looking so good against Leyline. Just going to pass turn here. See if I can vigor this. I mean, certainly I can vigor it. But if they play into it, like if they play an artifact, I 100% will feel very good or an enchantment, like if they do Oath. Jeez. Crazy, guys. See what happens here. They just got 1 land. All right. Well, I am going to do it here. And if they want to fight over this, then I mean, there's not much I can do about it. They do have a force of will. Okay, they don't want it in play. I don't want it out of play. Jeez, guys. All right, well, we got to start churning here, trying to win. Okay. We have a plan, guys. We just got to fade an oath. Okay. Not optimal. We are definitely losing this one here. Okay, I kind of like that. The problem for me here is do I just keep that force up bigger? I'm 100 miles away from casting it. Okay, I'm going to keep the Passaggio in hand here for a minute, and I'm gonna try and do some turbo churning here. Like if my opponent drops the oath, like Orchard Oath, obviously I have my hand forced here, but I'm going to try and slow roll this one a little bit more because if I tap the Bazaars here, I'm going to lose Passaggio. Passaggio is 100% one of my best cards here. Leyline is normally a very bad card against me, but I'm heavier than I normally am with the 4 Hogaks in the list on being affected by Leyline, and I've drawn the complete wrong side of my deck. I have not seen one Root Walla here. So, not optimal. Not optimal. Okay, so there's a Lotus. Like, part of me wonders if they've just been sitting on an oath waiting for me to deploy a creature. And I think that's probably what's happening here. So if they play the oath out, obviously I can Passaggio it now, and I can start churning like crazy. I'd love to get rid of that Leyline in the Void, but it's not very good for me. I don't think I can win here. Maybe I just start drawing and casting spells. Like I'm in a position here where it's like it's not unlikely that I can just start casting spells and then Passaggio their oath. Now I have mana, and like once I get one creature into play, it turns my Cradle on. This is a losing endeavor, guys. To be clear, it's not very good. Here's a show and tell. Tinker. Okay, let's see what they get. Citadel. Sphinx. Okay, we have an answer to the Sphinx. So they've made their play. Now they could still very easily have Oath of Druids, and there's nothing I can do about that. I mean, we have to go in. We just don't have an option, guys. All right. I mean, not the worst. But now we have to face down an oath. Perhaps, anyways. But we are hitting in for some damage if they don't have the oath. Hopefully I didn't just miss some damage here. I think those root walls all came in during my turn, right? I hope that's the case. Got a little bit distracted by that phone call coming through. Yep. So here comes an Atraxa. All right. Well, I mean, there's not much I can do about that. It's pretty much game. 3/6/9 block, game 6 back. Yeah. I guess a Hex Drinker could maybe give me a chance against this. Not really, though. Let's see. There's a Hex Drinker. The Leyline really got me this game. All right, they got us. Okay, round 4, let's go. See if we can redeem ourselves after that loss to Oath there. I always float back and forth between 3 and 2 Boseiju, depending on what I'm expecting. And Boseiju definitely increases your ability to beat Oath of Druids, but it comes at a cost. Like if I was going to champs, I probably would have 3. Because there will be Oath there. Like it just also shows you like how helpless that last game was, right? Like Tinker and the Sphinx. I handled the Sphinx, but I couldn't handle the ley line, couldn't handle the Sphinx, and the show and tell tracks up. Okay, so Arid Mesa. That is interesting. Okay, we need to animate this vine here, turn 1. I'm feeling a little bit sketchy about anything that has Arid Mesa in it has Wasteland. My hand is a little bit soft here. And we're not here to fool around. Let's get her going. What a brick. Oh no. Yeah, no, that's what I do. 3 serum powders. Like, come on, man. All right, well, we're going to play the slow game here. It's a little bit disappointing. Yep. Saga, okay, that's not so bad. Maybe. Oh, this is a blue-white initiative. Is that what this is? Thalia, okay. I can live with that. The fact I'm getting an opportunity to untap with my Bazaar here is really huge. Okay, let's go. I think I wait one more turn, guys. This Boseiju is not looking great. I think I value both the wastelands here. Now, I think I have to be proactive here and kill this. I would like to force a vigor and the upkeep, but the problem is that if it doesn't work, they're going to get a construct, and I do not want that. So I will reinvestigate that next turn. Oh no, Stoneforge. Cauldron, but they didn't play a land, so we have a chance here to stymie them on that. Okay, guys, let's try this again, okay? All right, at least we hit a Gaia's Cradle this time. I mean, it doesn't help me actually animate the vine here, but we are going to go ahead and do this now. Or do I not need to? Because what I can do is I can wasteland them here. Yeah. And then pray next turn that I can cast it with Cradle. Yeah, I mean, look, they almost assuredly are running wastelands, guys. I'm fairly confident they are, but no, I'm going to keep the vigor. That was a tough call. I think we just have to hope they don't hit the Cauldron because we're losing really badly if they do hit here. But if they don't hit here, we have a chance. We have to dodge Wasteland, Strip Mine, and any white source. Okay, that's good news for me. Now, can we finally get my vine going Hogak here? We did. Okay, finally. Can they enforce? It's totally fine. I'd rather them force this because I'm going to get their... Right, I cast Collector Roof now. And then just bring Hogak in, right? Like if I bring Hogak in and tap the vine down, I can also play Hex Drinker, which is actually really strong. But I can do that next turn and plump them for 4 here. I think the damage probably matters more, but maybe not. All right, we can give up the damage here. I'll give up the damage this time. Cannot be forced. They're under their own Thalia. And now we got that in. Okay, so we're hitting for some big damage next turn. All right. Okay, so we're playing against a Stoneforge Thalia Hatebear deck. Okay. I don't know if this is initiative stuff, but we could bring in a basic here. Kind of don't really want Force of Vigor here. We've got the Sages to back us up. We'll maybe try our Questing Beast. What do you think, guys? Try this out. See how we do here. Well, that's an easy powder. Do better than that. Powder. Well, it's been a long time since I've had the mulligan like this. Okay. We're not going to win this game. It'd be highly improbable. Thalia. Just another Thalia. Like, Thalia is completely fine against my deck. Yes, it slows my dismembers down, but I think that's okay. Ooh, that's nasty, guys. That is rude. I'm a long ways away from doing anything here, guys. I just have to hope my opponent doesn't have anything. And we can draw a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth here. But we're very likely to lose to this. If this is Stoneforge, I'll concede. Goldbug Scrappy Scout. Okay, that's going to kill me really quick. Okay, cast that. Boom. You know, Lavinia and Thalia are a non-bow, because that would have allowed me, if they had Thalia and play with Lavinia, I would have been able to cast my Mox. All right. Actually, let me just see. If I draw a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, I can cast Collector Roof. I don't think that's even enough in itself, but nasty. Okay. Definitely want Chalice back in. This could be okay, the Questing Beast. Probably unnecessary. Okay, guys, let's enact our plan here. No, I honestly don't think that given how hateful their deck is, I'm gonna have a real hard time casting Dismember, to be perfectly honest. Let's enable our plan and worry about what they're doing later. And this is risky. I mean, I realize the Transformer is an artifact. But we have ways of shutting their mana down. Maybe I do want bigger. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, that's a nice looking hand. So we're going to discard the 2 Greedy Root Wallows because this puts us closer to Hogak. So if we get Wastelanded, we're that much closer to Hogak. Maybe I discard 1 Root Wallow because I'm going to have the Benjamin. Maybe that's what I want to do. So I have at least 1 more to be able to bring the vine back if this gets killed somehow, like Tabernacle. Problem, the way our hand is set up, I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, is that we have no discard equity. Like Hogak's 100 miles away here. We gotta put one of these away. So I'm gonna put one of the red root walls back. Jeez. Yeah, gonna do it this way. So if they tabernacle me here, I'll be able to Hogak and do it all over again. And that's a big hit. I've got them dead next turn if they don't have a tabernacle. And creature decks typically don't play Tabernacle with Pendra Veil in them. All right, nice win for us, guys. See you next round. Okay, guys, here we are, round 5. Pretty awkward hand. The powder. Yeah, like there's an example of powdering into a better Bazaar hand. Like, look how much better this is. Okay, we're going to keep this. I'm going to play my Mox out first. I do not have Once Upon a Time in this build. And this is going to ensure that I'm going to get my... oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to keep the mist stuff here. That's a hell of a start. One of the things I like to do, guys, and I guess in this particular instance, it doesn't matter as much because I have 2 artifacts in play, but having a Mox in play is not that common. But if the Mox wasn't in play, I like to stagger my hollow ones between main phase and second main phase, because if you have an overzealous opponent who Force of Vigor's the 1, like, never should do that, but I have seen it happen on a number of occasions where I've staggered, and you can get away with keeping an extra hollow one that way. All right, so Force of Vigor now, and we get a hollow one in the second main. So that might have been a reason to actually cast the Hex Drinker first. Too busy talking away here. A little bit of a mistake there. Could be costly, because I'm almost feeling like they have one now. But anyways. Nice. Nice 7 there. They just conceded. So my opponent has one vintage notable on MTG Goldfish, and it was Golos Shops. And if it's Golos, I don't think I want to do anything. Perhaps I could bring in a basic and maybe take out a Hex Drinker, but I think I like the way I'm built. Actually, maybe we take out the Chalice here. Bring this back in. Let's see how that goes. I don't want to put too much effort into sideboarding here when I don't really know what I'm playing against. And of course, Force of Vigor is pretty good if it is Shops. Not pretty good, it's great. I'm going to powder this one. Very nice. So this may give us some Tabernacle insulation, depending on if my opponent plays a Sphere. Okay, not a great start. I guess the question I have here is, do I want to play into Tabernacle of Pendra Vale? I probably do. Can I just cast this? This is terrible if I get hit, but if they don't have the answer then in the Tabernacle, then I'm in great shape. They're not conceding, so they had the tab. Just going to play it out. I would like the ability to play around. Oh, this is not Shops at all. Oh, geez, look at this. In truth, I don't really mind this. That's actually not bad, you know. I think I got to keep the Wasteland and hope I don't get, I don't know. Do I keep the other Bazaar? I think I have to. Because if I get Wastelanded here, it's just devastating. Next turn we can play with the second Bazaar and start working our way towards some Bloodghasts and getting through this Tabernacle. The Ancestral was a nice pull for them there. Yeah, okay. So we made the right choice there. Let's see. I got a flash creature here. I do think I'm going to play the Bazaar and start churning. Where it becomes awkward, yeah, I'm going to do it. Maybe I wait to see if I can find myself a Wasteland here, give myself a chance at keeping one. Okay, so they had the Wasteland, so that's going to change the way we approach things here. We're just going to get going. Okay, so we're going to keep the green Root Walla here. And they had the answer. So they've got a bunch of wastelands here. So we're a little ways away from anything happening here, but if we can find some lands, that would be good. Yep, can't quite do it. Not even close. Okay, well, let's see what we can do here. I mean, we're losing this quite badly. My opponent's had 3 wastelands. And we had a magnificent turn 1. But my opponent did have the answer. Okay. So we're not looking so good here. They've 3 wastelands and a strip mine so far. We're going to play our lands out here. I'm not in a position to wasteland right now. Or to strip mine, excuse me. Teffers, yep. Okay, well that could bring a Hogak back if I can get it into my yard. To standstill? What a brew this is. Okay. I guess we need a Bazaar, guys. Teferi does shut off my root wall is coming into play. Off the Bazaar. We could also just cast the root wall if we can find a green source. I think Bazaar is really what we need to make things work here, but excuse me. Yeah, I can certainly be taking 2 off of this. I will be able to manually discard the Bloodghast in 4 turns, and I will be at 10 life at that point if nothing changes. Okay. 4 waste effects. Oh boy. I'm surprised my opponent's not bouncing their mocks here. It's kind of weird. Bizarre. No Bazaar. I think they've got, they're discarding here. I've been fairly unlucky on my draws here. I have like 18 or 19 lands in this deck. It's kind of crazy I haven't found any. Okay. It has been a hot minute since I've seen Fairy Conclave in Vintage. And it's a standstill card. I mean, of old. It's lost its slot to Urza's Saga. Yep. Goodness, what a bizarre blow this open. There they go. Knight and Tutor. Wow, this is a brew, man. Put a standstill in? Crucible. Well, that's probably going to beat me really bad. Cannot beat a Crucible. Okay. Got a couple ways to interact here with Boseiju. Force of Vigor likely not to be too good in this matchup, but I think it's okay. Okay. A little bit awkward because we don't really have anything here to go with the Bazaar, but it is what it is. Okay. Probably just going to get wastelanded, which is not optimal. We are losing this. Oh, sweet. No. This is not optimal, but this is where we're at. I could have hard cast the Vengevine there, it's true. I have to see how we end up doing here. But obviously us not having any offense here is suboptimal, and this kind of goes back to when we were playing against Oath of Druids earlier in this league. Can I go for my Bazaar here, right? No? Wow. That just can't be right, leaving my Bazaar. What does that even mean? This is abysmal, guys. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to keep the root wall in hand here. Going to play out my land. And we're going to pray we can draw a 2-drop here. And just get our Hogak into play next turn and our Vengevine. Let's see what happens. That's a Containment Priest? Yeah. Okay. I think I can cast Hogak through Containment Priest. Because I'm paying a casting cost to do it. But I could be wrong. Okay. That does work. The oof, I guess, would have been better here. But because I could have brought Hogak back, but that's okay. They seem to be not overly interested in going after my Bazaar here, which I find really peculiar. My Root Wallet does pump up here. And just have another one. And once again, my opponent has 7 in his hand, in their hand, so a little bit scary, but okay. Containment Priest from different sects. I personally like the old bordered Containment Priest, but I never liked these invocations. I always thought they were really weird. But there's people that like them. I am going to spin. Punished. I'll attack with this. Wow. Oh, Shark Typhoon for nothing. Very tight, man. But I'm somehow still in this game. Like they're discarding here. Wow. What is going on? Please don't wasteland me. Okay, find a green creature, please. Okay, they got my GAC. I guess there's a world where I could have waited second main, but I specifically was looking for something. Okay, they might double block here where I am somewhat incentivized to keep the, I'm going to do this. I want to try and beat down, like if I draw Gaia's Cradle with these things in play, it's really strong for me. Okay, we're taking it. Another Containment Priest. All right. Well, we are getting in for some damage here. I mean, if my opponent doesn't realize that I've got the so I can just pump all these 3, 6. Or I could look for Gaia's Cradle. No, I'm going to go for it. Let's make my opponent see it. It's a lot of damage. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tap the other root wall here to put them down to 2. I don't think it's worth it. Now I will see if I can bring a vine back. We can. Now, if they have a tabernacle, I'll be able to pay for 3 of these, which is more than enough. I mean, I guess no, it's not, because they can wasteland me off of my Yavimaya. So I'll be able to keep 1. So they need to be able to answer the 1. So yeah, that could work. But of course, I do have Bloodghast if I find a land off the top. All right, nice. Okay, guys. Solid 4-1 for us there. We'll take that one. List felt pretty good. Hogak was ominous. I'll say that. I only cast him a couple times, but it was certainly extremely powerful having him in play, and didn't trigger any vines, I don't think. But Hogak's a really powerful card if you can't answer it, and I'm not sure it's correct or not, but I did enjoy having them in this list. It gave me an extra layer of depth to the list that can kill a lot easier. Whereas the lists I like are not as reliant on the graveyard. So, anyways, guys, appreciate you hanging out. Please hit the like and subscribe button as always, and we'll see you next time.